Welcome back to Granbury TV. It's time for our weekly sheriff's report. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, it's a short week. We got Easter coming up, and it'll be a good weekend.
Hope so.
So what has been going on with you guys?
Well, as far as news, fortunately, it's not been as wild and crazy as some weeks have been. The narcotics guys are out there working. We had a meeting yesterday, and they've got stuff in the works, and so I know that'll be making the news here in the coming weeks. But the biggest thing that happened this week is the other night on the 26th, we had a motorcycle pursuit. And this young man, he was up on 51 at around Lantana when he passed one of my officers, and the officer clocked him at a very high rate of speed, and so he turned on him and went after him. I guess the motorcycle was southbound and the deputy was northbound, and the pursuit was on at that point. He didn't want to stop for some reason. Well, after it was all over with, the pursuit took about 3 miles, I guess, total. And he tried turning on him a couple of times and getting away from him. Usually motorcycles are pretty maneuverable and all of that.
Right, yeah.
Except when you take them down in a ditch to try to turn in the gravel and on the hills and in the grass and all that. So he ended up laying the motorcycle over on about Reed Road and 51, where he lost control, and so there he was. So they took him into custody right there without really any other incident, but it was, I was listening on the radio when it was all going on, and it was starting to get kind of intense because I know he was hitting the speeds at over 100 miles an hour. And so passing down through there from the area where it started coming to the south, there's a lot of side traffic coming in there. So that's always a big concern when you have something like this going on, that somebody is going to look both ways and then not see anything and pull out in front of them at 100 miles an hour. You can make a lot of distance up in a big old hurry, and so I figured we were going to end up causing another wreck. But it all worked out, and the only one that wrecked was him. And so deputies arrested and charged Christopher Cody King. He's 29 years old, for evading arrest with a motor vehicle. And that's a felony 3, and bond, this was the night before last, but bond won't be set till this morning. So I'm not sure what that is quite yet. And then King also had a warrant for his arrest for reckless driving, and that's a Class B, and the bond was already preset at $5,000 out of Wise County. So we figure that's why he ran from us. So he's currently in jail, and don't know if he'll be able to make bond or not. But I guess he'll have the opportunity to meet with one of the JPs this morning, and then we'll see what happens after that. So fortunately, all my officers were okay, and no citizens were injured, and the excitement didn't last for too long.
Yeah.
Other things that I wanted to bring up today, we had Commissioner's Court on Tuesday, and we've been trying to work on and move forward on a new animal control center, and it looks like that's moving forward as planned. We had a couple weeks ago had another Commissioner's Court meeting where the court decided to keep on pressing ahead, so we brought a couple more things to the court to approve, design and plan, basically, and now we're going to fine-tune that plan. But it looks like this is going to happen then, so we'll go from our small animal control facility that you've been up to a number of times, and so this is going to be a way bigger building, way better building. We're going to go from 12 kennels up at this one to what we're hoping to put in is over 100 kennels.
Wow.
And part of our problem up here at the old animal control facility is you bring in animals that are just picked up off the streets, whatever, and if they have diseases, distemper, a lot of different things going on, you try to separate them and quarantine them until you can actually put them into population, and then if nobody comes to claim them, then get them out for adoption.
Right.
And unfortunately, we don't have any way to do that now. So with this new building, we've got it planned out where we're going to have an area we can isolate them and make sure that they're good, healthy animals, and then be able to get them back to their owner, or get them onto an adoption, the adoptions that we set up, or some of the rescue groups. And so everybody's real excited about it. There's a lot of rescue groups really excited. My guys are excited. This is going to really be a facility that'll work well into the future, way into the future. So looking forward to that all happening, and it looks like it'll be out on 51 North. The county has some property out there, and so it'll be out just before you get to the Masonic Lodge and to Tri-County Electric. Out there when you're heading north, it'll be on the west side of the road, is what the plan is. So that'll be probably a little easier for people to get in and out of, going out 51 instead of going out west of town on 377 and looking for the place, since it's back in there off the highway. So
well, hopefully with the new location, like you're saying, it's easier for people to get to, and hopefully there can be more adoptions, and it becomes more aware that we have that facility in town. So.
Yep, we're going to set it up for better enabling us to do adoptions on site, better to take care and quarantine the animals that are there, just all the way around. We're just trying to make it the best facility we can make, and now everybody's trying to sharpen their pencils to come up with the best price that we can. So, hopefully by this time next year, we'll hopefully have a new facility. I'm hoping for that. But along with this animal control facility, we're working on a new emergency operations center. I had put in for a grant over a year ago, and the emergency operations center that we have now is in my building up at the sheriff's office, and it's pretty tight. It's when we have one of the FEMA graded drills for the nuclear power plant, then we have a lot of people in there, and it's just standing room only. There's too many people in there, too much noise going on in there. It's just, and that's been the way it's been ever since day one when this building was first built. It was too small then, but we've been dealing with it and trying to make the best of it. But it looks like now we got that grant, and so we're going to start moving forward. Looks like 7,000 square foot building, and it's going to be to the west side of Deputy Larry Miller Drive, just across from the sheriff's office now. So it's going to incorporate a new emergency operations center, like the grant says we have to do, more user friendly in a lot of different ways. We're going to have some office space over there, and then one of the things that's been badly needed for the county is the IT offices are in the old jail cells of the building that was the sheriff's office before my building was built. So they're working out of the server room and everything. All their offices are in old jail cells. And they've had electrical problems. They've had a lot of issues that they've been plagued with for a long time, and they keep on working to get that fixed, and then the roof is leaking, and they've just one problem after another. So we're going to incorporate IT into this new facility, and it ought to be a great thing for the future. So
awesome.
Both of those are kicked into high gear, and actually because of the grant, the time frame of when we have to complete this, we're hoping to have the new emergency operations center complete by like February 1st of next year.
That's not bad.
And that way we get the grant money reimbursed back from the state and the federal government. And then the animal control facility it's going to be hopefully in the works at the same time.
Right.
It might have to take a back seat to some of this stuff for the emergency operations center. So hopefully this will be done February of 2014, and the new animal control facility will be sometime ready to go just shortly after that. We'll have to wait and see. It might all come together at the same time, and I hope it does, but we'll see. But that's exciting times ahead for Hood County.
Awesome. That's awesome. You guys have so much stuff going on, and I know both the emergency operations center you guys really need, and I know being out at the animal facility, you guys definitely need a facility to grow, and same with the OC thing, and great opportunities, and we definitely look forward to seeing them go through and seeing what the final product is. It'll be really neat to see. Now, you kind of talked about a radar thing previously to this interview, what can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, this radar, I'm on the Emergency Preparedness Planning Committee for the North Central Texas Council of Governments. And this made the news last summer, last fall, that time frame. I remember it came up on different news channels that, if you remember, they were talking about this new high-tech radar.
Right.
And this radar, it's called CASA for short. But what that stands for is Collaborative Adaptive Sensing of the Atmosphere. And so this is top of the line, state of the art. There's nothing like it in the country or even in the world right now. This was built and designed up in Oklahoma. They got it all fine-tuned, and nobody really had the money to put it all in effect. So in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they really wanted to get it bad because we have the severe storms, the severe weather, the old radar that we have. Wherever that radar unit is sitting, and there's a number of them around the Metroplex, then it aims up, and so if you're within a few miles of the radar, you're going to get the lower part of the clouds where a lot of the stuff is going on, where the tornadoes are forming, where the hail is coming out of them, and a lot of things like that. But if you're 50 miles away, the farther you go, then the higher up that radar is looking. So, so by the time you get 50, 60, 70 miles away, you're looking at the cloud tops. And that tells you something, but it doesn't tell you everything. It tells you that thunderstorm is really high, so the chances are it's going to be really bad. But with this new radar, it's made to look lower and look into the base of the cloud formations as well as higher. It looks throughout, looks in a different spectrum of things. So it's the new wave of the future. So it's going to give us a lot better information of what's happening right now, what's going to happen in the future as a storm moves across the area. So the normal chain of events that happens during a normal spring thunderstorm times that comes in, it usually goes from southwest to northeast, and those fronts come in from the west, northwest, and sweep in, and then the storm fronts, or with the clouds and the storms embedded into them, then they move from southwest to northeast along the front of that front. And so the west side, the southwest side of the north central Texas COG region, or the Metroplex region, is Hood County. Hood County, Urath County, Somerville County. So we're going to find out what's going on before it hits the Metroplex, where the masses of people are. So they approached me at our last meeting, and I'd sent out a letter to Commissioner's Court, and didn't really get a good response out of it, but they would love to have one of these units put in Hood County somewhere. And what that's going to do for Hood County is we're going to get that information. I'm going to get that information. The judge is going to get that information. The weathermen are going to get that information. Here's what's happening right now. It's better information, way more advanced than anything we've ever had before. And here's what's happening in Hood County.
Awesome.
And then it's going to benefit the Metroplex, because here's what's happening here, and it's all moving to the east and northeast. So that's why they need to get it farther out to the west and southwest. But there's one catch, that to set up these units, a grant paid for these units. So what the deal was with the news is that they were stashed in a warehouse up in the Metroplex. And some investigative reporters found out about it, and when they found out how good they are, they thought, well, why aren't we getting them used? Well, because the catch is, it takes about $500,000 to $600,000 to set them up, put them in place, and make them work. So you need a good location where you can get internet access, because everything's channeled back and forth to the weathermen by internet. And so you need power, internet access, a good location, and there's some specifications that have to be met. And the cost usually is around $500,000 to $600,000. They just set one of these up over in the Ennis area, or Waxahachie, Ennis. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but they say it's working perfect, but they'd like to get one moved farther to the west and southwest of the Metroplex. So I guess, if this can be a private partnership deal with it, has to go to like county government. It's the
Right.
North Central Texas COG that's in charge of these things, but we need all the help we can get. So if we have somebody that has a perfect spot on the top of a hill somewhere out here in Hood County, let me know, and if we can get private people involved in this, because it's going to benefit everybody,
Right.
then that's where I'm at right now, is trying to figure out how to come up with $500,000-$600,000 and a good place to put it. So if you know of anybody out there, give me a call, because we'd like to make this happen for Hood County, and it would definitely benefit Hood County too, and it would benefit the whole Metroplex. So if you'd like more information about it, there's websites you can go through to check this all out. And if you go through the North Central Texas Council of Governments, they have a website set up, and it's CASA, CASAWX website, and look for that CASAWX on the North Central Texas COG website. That's probably the easiest way to get there, and it'll tell you all kinds of good information about it. All the
Awesome.
new technology that's out there, and we'd like to be part of it.
It sounds awesome. It definitely sounds like a great piece to have here in Granbury, and to help, like you were saying, the Metroplex. And it sounds like you guys have tons of going on. You got lots of things in the works, and you got this going on, and you guys are just busy over there.
Well, we're busy, but unfortunately, everything I've talked about takes a lot of money to keep it going. Your tax dollars at work or your private dollars at work, it'll benefit Hood County in a lot of different ways.
Definitely. Well, before we wrap up, do you have anything else to add today?
No, I guess that's about it for today.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming in and letting us know everything that's going on. And we definitely look forward to hearing about all these different projects you guys have going on and that are in the works, and seeing how they progress and what the outcomes end up being out of them. And hopefully you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you then, and we'll keep you posted. Thanks.